with for Mansoor Delane.
Talk about your first impressions of being in the building.
Sure, it's great. Just to actually get to play football now and do what I do. So it feels good just getting back to do what I do.
And it's been a little over a week since the draft. Have things slowed down for you?
For sure. I'm just trying to feel at home now and just get comfortable. Just really my main focus getting that playbook right and just be ready to go.
What went into you ending up at the number 5?
Really wasn't too many options, but really I just like this number, and then I just feel like it was something new.
I know she had your number 4, so.
Sure. Yeah, he got my number. I can't do anything about that. He the vet. So I'm just fitting in where I can.
What do you know about this franchise? Are you an NFL fan? Have you watched what the Chiefs have been doing?
Oh, for sure. I grew up a Ravens fan. Not a Ravens fan anymore, but obviously, that was some battles. We always could never get past the Chiefs. So I definitely grew up, knowing what y'all do.
Brian Kelly told a story about how you came up to him in practice and said, based off the splits, you knew what the receivers were doing in practice. Do you remember what you said to him? What was going on with that? It just seemed like a kind of an interesting story you told about you in the draft process.
Yeah. Me and BK, we probably just had a lot of conversations, but really just I think I just take pride in my cerebral part of the game. I just try to understand my alignment, my splits, and to help give me an advantage before the play even happens.
And what did you see from them? How did you know what they were going to do?
He just try to eliminate routes. So if it's a cut split or if it's a wider split, there's only a certain amount of routes you can do. So just limiting that route tree make the game easier.
You played a lot of different schemes, it seems like, with zone, press, man. I mean, what are you most comfortable with, or do you enjoy the aspect of maybe being able to do a lot of different things in that sense?
Yeah, Coach Baker's defense, it was multiple defense. I got to do everything. I think that ultimately led me to be the position I am right now. And just, similar to kind of Spags' defense, we play everything. A lot of NFL defenses, they may do one type of thing, but we play every type of coverage.
Were you excited about, did you immediately recognize when you got drafted by the Chiefs that Spags is a guy that does a lot of press, and was that something that was on your mind pretty quickly?
Oh, for sure. A lot of the DBs that come here, they don't stay for long. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means, they're getting developed and, they're getting put in the best positions. So I'm just looking forward to be the next one. Hopefully I stay,
Let's do a couple more.
On that, the Chiefs have kind of floated that they want you to be inside-outside, do a little in college. I guess how comfortable do you feel like you are covering the slot?
Yeah, I can just do whatever the team needs me. Whatever Coach Spags needs me, I'm willing to, try to be the best at it.
Last two, we'll go Herbie and then Todd.
What kind of scouting report, if we asked you to give on Garrett, you would say about his skill set he's bringing here?
I say just a leader. Not as big as anything. I think, obviously he's a rookie now, but just his leadership skills and off the field skills, and he's a competitor.
A lot of times guys who have never been to an NFL game, you grew up a Ravens fan around. Do you get to go to games when you were a kid?
For sure. Went to a couple games, played in the stadium, so I'm very familiar with that.
What sort of advice did you get from anyone about, not the football part and all that stuff, just about off field and being an NFL player? Did you get any advice from anyone so far that's sticking with you?
Just be yourself, be a sponge, be humble. That's the main thing I'm trying to do.
Thanks, Mansoor.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Garrett, it was nice to have a familiar face going through this with you with Mansoor.
Yeah, it's been cool. I know I probably won't throw his way in these practices, but no, I'm just kidding. It'll be just like practice at LSU. So yeah, he's a great player. It's been cool to have him around, get to have a familiar face for sure.
Just growing up around the NFL game, are you accustomed to the environment in the schedule that's going to be coming up for you?
Yeah, in a sense, I got to spend some time, obviously around my dad, and especially when I was in high school, and he was with the Cowboys, and so I have a familiar feel of kind of how things roll and how things work in this league. But at the end of the day, I'm still a rookie. You know what I mean? I'm going through my first process in this as well, so taking it day by day, and I'm just so grateful to be here.
What have Andy Reid's specialties as developing quarterbacks? I guess when you look back and at what he's going to do with you, what do you hope you to take away in the long term?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's so many things. Coach is such a legendary coach and such a great football coach, and so, just trying to be a sponge around him. Anything I can take from him, that's what I'm looking to do.
Garrett, have you connected with Patrick yet, and just what have those conversations been like?
Yeah, I met him the other day. Just just kind of, hey, what's up, getting to know him. So really excited for this opportunity to learn under him, obviously. And so, yeah, it's been great.
Now, obviously, last year at LSU was kind of a funky season. How do you view that now compared to where you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I went through, as I said many times before and back at LSU. But my first time speaking to you guys, I want you guys to know my faith is a big part of who I am. I'm a huge believer, and, I'm a son of Jesus Christ before I'm a football player. And so I believe everything happens for a reason. And I believe that, what I went through last year was meant to be. And so having gone through that, I've grown from it. And I've become a better player, a better person, a better man. And so I'm grateful for the struggle. I'm grateful to have gone through that because, I know it's going to help me going forward.
Go next to Herbie.
Mansoor highlighted your leadership qualities as one of your top attributes. What makes you an effective leader?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think, just growing up around the game, just kind of understanding football and, being taught at a young age what a quarterback's supposed to do, what it's supposed to look like, and just trying to fill that role, do everything I can, get to know my teammates, and get to know some of these guys that I've never played with before. So.
Garrett, what went into getting 14 for now? Did Cyrus get the draft 13 in front of you? Or?
I don't know. Yeah, look, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm just excited for this opportunity. At the end of the day, a number isn't everything. So.
What was your dad's advice to you? What's your family's advice to you?
Yeah, just to go at it and just to be myself. To be a sponge, to get better and focus on improving myself each and every day. So.
Good.
You guys, you have a peek at the playbook yet and all that stuff? Is it everything you kind of thought it would be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't put up the numbers that, these guys have put up with over the last 10 years, whatever it's been, without having a very good system. So it's been a lot of learning, a lot of grinding, and so I'm excited to continue to get to do that.
We'll go a couple more. Good? Great. Thanks, Gary.
Appreciate it, guys. God bless.
How much do you feel like that's pretty vital to what you do?
Yeah, that's the most important thing about my game is getting off the ball. You got to rep it, and then you got to track kind of help me with it too, just how to start, the stance, what it should look like, and then the coaches here too.
What'd you run in track?
I ran the 1, the 2, the 4, 4x1, 4x4. I wasn't all that fast, but yeah, I wasn't all that fast. It's South Florida got some speedsters.
You talk about Nick Bonito being one of your influences. I mean, Oklahoma's had a bunch of guys similar with that prototype. It just is that what drew you? Is that what drew you to the school? And just how do you kind of let those guys influence you now that you're in their shoes in the pro level?
Yeah, he definitely was a big influence. The Lord led me to Oklahoma, but he was also one of the part of the reasons that I went to. And yeah, I ask him all the time about different things he looks at, like what he does to help his pass rush, what he focuses on. Like, he's not a big guy, so we don't necessarily have to look at the power, but then he shows us how you use power between that too. So a lot of things.
Just how much does he come back to campus? How much have you talked to him through the years?
Yeah, he comes back. He'll come back. Last year he came back for the Missouri game, like wherever it lines up on this bye week. He was down in South Florida one time when I was down there. But our schedules don't be aligning sometimes. But yeah, I seen him.
How do you think your game is going to mesh with the NFL? What do you expect?
Yeah, my game, I think it's not like college, but wherever the defense wants you to play, that's at the end of the day, it's football. So you know what I mean. So it's going to be a majority of the same. Yeah.
The lighter speed, like rushers, the run game is always a conversation, I guess. How do you hope to prove that you can hold up, say, the edge in the run game?
Yeah, I just got to go do it. The tackles here are bigger. They're more technical. They're pros, so But at the end of the day, you still got to go and stick your nose in their chest.
Now that you're here, what is your opinion about the franchise, the environment, the facility?
It's a lot like Oklahoma, really. Kansas City not too far from Oklahoma. But yeah, it's definitely, you see all the trophies, the Lombardis, like it's definitely different. And it's definitely, like a program that's a dynasty for sure.
What went into the selection of 34 for you? That's usually a linebacker number.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some questions about your position too.
Closest to 32, 32's taken. Still open for numbers though.
And this isn't the first time you've had Chiefs on your jersey either. What's the coincidence of ending up with that name again?
Yeah, it's actually crazy. They was chanting that in when I got drafted. The guys from Cardinal Gibbons, the Chiefs, they were chanting once a Chief, always a Chief. So that was pretty. Yeah.
We'll go next to Taylor, then Todd.
Just wondering what the last week's been like for you. It had to have been crazy, just being drafted and then all the phone calls you got and then packing up your bag and getting here.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. To be honest, I thought time was gonna, freeze for a second, but it just kept on going. Like the next day, I woke up, I'm like, well, I didn't even really, what do you call that word? I really didn't even realize that I was a Chief because I was looking at the 4th through 7th round. I'm like, the Chiefs pick up somebody. I'm like, oh, I wonder how that looks. Well, duh, I'm gonna be there with them. So I didn't even. That's the word, register. It didn't register with me that I was a Chief at one point. But yeah, the week's been smooth. It's just going back to working out, and it's like, I don't know, it's different.
Things like you're pretty unusual in today's world. You went to one school, didn't transfer. What was that like when you were there? I'm sure there's always people kind of going around trying to get people to transfer and stuff. What kept you there, and you think it was good to stay at one place?
I've been keeping track. You're the 28th person I think that said that. That's pretty unusual. Yeah, I love Oklahoma. I didn't feel like I needed to leave. I knew when I wanted to pick, the Lord led me to pick that school. So I didn't have a drastic reason to change. Like, obviously, if they wanted me to play, like safety, then obviously I have to leave. But I didn't have a drastic need to change. So I stayed. The Lord called me back for another year, my 4th year. People were talking about coming out 3rd year, and I came back for a 4th year. But, yeah, it was either 3 years and done or 4 years and done.
And then I heard last night at the rookie dinner, Texas Longhorn, I guess maybe Keith Cash was talking about Oklahoma and Texas with you.
Yeah.
That stuff sticks with people. Now, is it a little bit weird when you talk to some of these guys and they went to 2 or 3 schools? Do you like the fact that you were just at one place and then you can still talk smack with the guy who played for the Chiefs 25, 30 years ago?
Yeah, I do. It definitely, because you got a lot of stories. You got a lot to relate with them because they've been, like through the culture change or like anything like that. But no, the people that did change their school, whatever school they came from, I probably played them. So it's like different to see them in different teams. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, we'll finish up with PJ.
Obviously y'all are early in the playbook, but just I know you like to kind of switch between 2 and 4 point stance, just with your hand down in the dirt. Just do you have a preference, and have you and Spags and Coach Cullen talked about how they want you to line up at all?
No, wherever he wants me to line up, I'll line up. I don't really have a preference between both. Both is kind of the same because you're low enough, so it's kind of. If I do tend to fall, I do put my hand down like I'm in a 3-point. So you're low in both, so I don't really have a preference.
Okay. Thanks, Mason.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Just getting familiar with the offense for real and get to know the guys that I'm playing with and just get the timing down with the quarterbacks for real.
Have you heard from Travis Kelce?
Huh? Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Yeah, what did he say?
He was one of the first ones to hit me. He said, let's effing go. He's a Cincinnati guy, so that was exciting to really chop it up with him for real.
What's it like at Cincinnati, the view of Travis there?
Man, it's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I think he got a lot of stuff named after him. I think the hotel that we was at,
I think like our key card is a picture of him on it. So it was crazy. I'm like, this is Travis Kelce? I'm like, that's crazy. I wish I could get that treatment, but hey.
You went to multiple schools
Mhm.
in college. Was that an advantage for you? Did you pick up different things along the way? Or?
Yeah, most definitely. I met a lot of great coaches, got a lot of great coaching from them guys, played with a lot of good players, and just taking a lot of, like, the knowledge of the game from different coaches and different players was tremendously, like, good for me, so definitely.
What's your first impression of just being in the building?
Man, it's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's still like surreal for me that I'm here because, you know, I work extremely hard to get here. I'm still just, like, still amazed kind of, so.
Some guys say that they can feel the aura of championship
Yeah.
when they walk through the door. Could you?
Yeah, most definitely. So.
We're going to see one of your college teammates a little bit today at practice, Jeff Caldwell.
Mhm.
Describe him. What kind of player is he?
Man, Jeff a dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Jeff a dog. He's 6'5", 6'6", one of them heights. Jeff a dog. He talented. I'm excited that he here with me. I was like amazed that he got signed here. I'm like, bro, let's go back to work. So.
I know rookies don't always get a lot of choices in numbers, but
Yeah.
what went into landing 13 for you?
Nothing. I didn't have a say-so on it for real, so I can't even lie to you. But that's one of my favorite numbers. So they probably heard me, saw me wore it at Cincinnati a little bit during the bowl game time. So that was good tremendously to get that number. So I'm grateful for it.
Just another question on Jeff, I guess. How does it make the experience and transition a little bit easier for you that you have some?
Yeah, definitely. A guy like Jeff on side of me, I know like a lot of attention gonna be off me, especially like with us being together and stuff. And I worked with him before, and us learning the plays and stuff together gonna be good for both of us. So.
This is very,
Huh?
what do you think about this team?
Explosive. Yeah, I like it very much.
Couple more.
This is, new, you haven't hardly done anything yet. You have a
Yeah.
practice here a little bit. But they usually try to give you a lot of information early to see if you can handle it. What's that information been like so far? Do you feel like it's too much, the right amount, or you're swimming in the head yet?
I'm swimming a little bit. I can't lie to you, but it's good. I'm learning everything, learning different positions, learning what everybody got. That's kind of like how I like to learn, so it's probably a bit harder for me. But it's good. I've been learning everything. Everything been good for her.
Being
So.
from New Orleans, a few guys have come through this way. You had Tyron, Clyde, and a few other guys, Justin Reed. What did you know about the Chiefs before you came?
That they win a lot of games.
Yeah.
They win a lot of Super Bowls, and they throw the ball a lot. So most definitely.
Have they told you where you're going to line up, or is it just kind of just learn the whole offensive?
Yeah, just really learning the whole offense for real.
All right, thanks, Cyrus.
All right. Thank y'all.